Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. So finally a very exciting video about Palantir. They really have changed the game and they have just announced something very great. So I want to talk to you about this, and of course if you like this content, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, and if you want to go further and get access to the valuations that we use on this channel and you want to get access to some exclusive content and direct access to me, check out the first link in the description box below, which will take you to our Patreon link where you can support the channel from $5 a month. So I feel like Palantir is in its Amazon moment. What do I mean by this? I'm sure if you are a long-time investor that you have seen this interview with Jeff Bezos when he's talking about that in the dot-com crash, he saw Amazon stock falling 90+%, and they didn't need financing at the time, so he wasn't worried, and every statistic that he looked at in the company was going up or highest ever, and the company was doing fantastic, and he just didn't know what to do with this. He saw the stock price going like this, and the company from the inside was going like this. And this is what I feel is happening with Palantir in the secret. They have been changing every issue that the Palantir bulls and bears had attention on, and they are really doing amazing. So what have they changed? So one of the biggest arguments against Palantir is the stock-based compensation, and this has been moderating, but this is just a small thing. A lot of people were complaining about that Palantir is not explaining their product correctly. They are not communicating well with customers, and this creates a wall where they are not getting new customers. And they have really changed this. They organized a Foundry Con where they had actual Foundry customers explaining incredible things, how Foundry has helped them. And there is actually a Foundry Con going on right now as I'm recording this. And this is a fantastic change. Then the next change, Alex Karp started acting normal in interviews. This is something that I didn't really care about, but a lot of people had attention on how he acted and how he answers questions in interviews. And lately he has been very down to earth, very laid back, giving very good answers to a lot of questions. So that's definitely a very positive sign. And now they just made a monster announcement, because the bulls wanted Palantir not just to be the company who has the top 30 customers on $50 million contracts. They wanted Palantir to go more mainstream and more down market. And a lot of the prominent Palantir figures like Costrap have been advocating for Palantir Marketplace, where other developers, third-party developers, can develop apps, much like on the App Store, on the Foundry platform, which can be sold as a separate product. And this can potentially spark SaaS 2.0, a completely different SaaS system, and this would be the future for Palantir. And they have just announced this. So let's see what they have announced.
Palantir partners with customers across industries to build impactful data assets and workflows in Palantir Foundry. These assets deliver compelling value to individual teams and enterprises. But we asked, why stop there? Introducing Foundry's Marketplace Developer Suite, which allows users to build and distribute products as SaaS. From healthcare operations, semiconductor supply chain, and aviation manufacturing, customers have created their own ecosystems to publish and distribute data products. With modularity backed by Foundry's ontology, Marketplace handles the infrastructure of distribution and application updates. Enterprises can instead focus on building a compelling data product that their customers can discover and install as SaaS. Learn more at palantir.com.
So this is exactly what they have announced, a marketplace for app developers, and this was like the last piece of the puzzle that we have been waiting for. But don't get too excited. I want to manage your expectations. So this will not result in immediate revenue or profit margin increase for the company. This will take quite some quarters and years to play out. However, if I understand this right, and it's actually being announced as I speak right now, and I would be watching it, but they made that effing link private, so you couldn't watch that part of the Palantir FoundryCon. Anyways, so what this does is this makes Palantir Foundry infinitely more sticky and valuable to companies. And this is what we want as shareholders, right? And this is the examples that I can give you as far as I understand. So this is how I understand it. I think that Airbus can create an app of how you can track all the data from their airplanes, and then they can sell the airplane with this Foundry app, which means that if you're on the receiving end of this, as long as you have Foundry, you make a few clicks and then you have a full management system and tracking and maintenance of all the airplanes. And obviously, this is a massive value increase for Airbus and also for Airbus customers, and it makes them want to use Foundry. Then complex machines like airplanes, power plants, hospitals, medical machines, they can, be designed and planned with, Palantir apps in mind. Or if you, let's say you have a medical machine, you can create a Palantir app around it and again, sell it with the Palantir app to hospitals, which makes the receiving end want to use Palantir Foundry because, the machine or this very complex thing is already pre-programmed in that. This is how I understand it. Again, the details are not yet fully announced because they made the effing link private, so I cannot watch it, but I'm sure very soon we will have a more understanding about it. This is freaking exciting as a Palantir shareholder. This is exactly what you want to see. And also another example, supply chains can write apps. And again, this is the go-to-market strategy of Palantir, that they can go into an industry and then they can force an industry to use Palantir, because the more units that use it, like you have, let's say, flight controllers that are using it, and then they want the airplane companies to be using it, and then if you connect in the airplane manufacturers, it just creates more and more network effects. And the more people use it, they can sort of make it an industry standard, and then anybody who wants to make airplanes or fly airplanes has to use the Palantir system because that is the standard. So this is one of their network effects and one of the things that makes them insanely sticky. And this, that you can write apps now for certain use cases, it just even makes it really that much stickier. So very, very exciting. So what do I think about this? Is this stock a buy here? Per my calculations that you can access in Patreon, first link in the description box below, it's still a buy, but I'm very pissed because I didn't have more money recently out on the market to buy more. I can't wait for the earnings because based on everything that I see, there will be some positive surprises on the earnings call, and I think it's going to be a very good quarter, but I've been so wrong on these predictions before. But anyways, I can't wait for the earnings call. So let me know, guys, in the comments what you think about this. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.